What's up, everybody? A Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on the Space Engineers Inspiration series. We're starting things off today with the large Fighter OBERON. Now, this was actually a viewer submission from my Discord server, and I have to admit, even though Fighter is in the name, I'm a bit tired, and I did not notice it, and I thought it was like a big capital vessel. So that's kind of funny. And yeah, so for those of you that may not be aware, I mentioned it on my Patreon section of my Discord server. I actually just got back from moving my cousin by the time you're seeing this video. So yeah, a little bit out of it, a little bit tired, and kind of threw this episode together in a hurry. But I digress. So yeah, I didn't even notice it was a fighter. I just looked at it and I was like, ooh, that's got a cool design to it. I like all the pointy, stabby things that are sticking out of it. I think that's pretty cool. I like the overall aesthetic, kind of that camouflage look. It kind of looks like some kind of... I mean, it actually looks like a fighter up close. You got more of a bit of a camouflaged Black Ops kind of look to it. But anyway, so... there are very clear door areas. Now, I will say this is a little interesting to me because the other reason I didn't recognize it as a fighter is because it's a little bigger. Like, it actually has a dock on the back here, it's got an interior, etc., and so on. Or at least some level of interior. So we've got the doors controlled by sensors, which is always fun when they work. Yeah, see, I'm not sure I would peg this as a fighter, maybe a small Corvette or something. I mean, I get it. This is the extent of the interior. I'm just saying. Most fighters don't have an interior, is all. But anywho, this episode might be actually a little bit closer to the 20-30 minute mark, considering that a couple of these builds are a little bit smaller. Rocket launchers, we've got camera front, top, and bottom. We have the ion thrusters, hydrogen thrusters, jump drives, turret controls. I don't think there's really anything on this I need to mess with too much. There's a merge block. I'm not sure what that's for, but it's off. Maybe it's for docking. We've got decoys. I don't see anything that's like jettison decoys or anything like that. The description does say that it works well in space, because you've got the ions, and the hydrogens are really predominantly for low gravity to kind of fight the gravity things, but it's not really a planetary type fighter. Although there was a mention of you could potentially get or add a atmospheric pod to it to actually get it to fly in atmospheres. Although I will say, it may not look like a fighter, but it moves like a fighter. Holy crap. The acceleration is pretty good, especially with the hydrogen in play. Let's try it without it. So without hydrogen, it's not quite as accelerating. It's not quite as it doesn't have quite the acceleration. Like I said, I'm tired. Just kind of chalk up any weird verbiage I use in this episode as I'm tired. But yeah, it actually moves really well, especially with the hydrogen thrusters. And as far as rockets, it looks like we've got 3 in the front, plus the turrets. I do kind of like when they've got that script to it that allows the sequential firing. Though you're not supposed to zig and zag, apparently, because I'm blowing up the front of the nose if you move too fast. But yeah, really cool overall. I really like the movement of it. It moves really well. This would be a really fun ship. The only drawback I will say, although I believe the camouflage parts are heavy armor, if I remember the description correctly. But see, like that, I love the profile of it. It's just got this kind of, I don't know, dagger pointed sharp object kind of look to it. But one thing that I personally think would be, I get it for the game, as far as if you're actually using this in a PvP, this is all protected and sealed under heavy armor. It would be a little bit annoying to me to have to fly without any kind of visual views other than third person. I know that there's like the cameras and stuff, but who wants to fly by camera? But like I said, I totally get it in a practical sense because the cockpit's secured that way, so less death basically. But with that, I think that's going to do it for this one. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, so next up we have the Leviathan mobile mining platform, which I don't really feel like I need to explain myself on this one, because this looks freaking amazing. So yeah, the only thing is, I may not be able to demonstrate all of the functionality of it because it essentially does 180 degree mining pattern, and but the description mentions that it takes about 20 minutes for a full 180. So I don't think I'll be able to take the time to actually show all of that, but there are screenshots in the description and stuff of the workshop file that show everything in action. We're gonna test it out and get it moving and all that kind of stuff, but I just don't think I'm gonna be able to let it sit for a whole cycle. I'm actually super impressed by this cable thing too. That's really cool looking. I mean, it's basically just blast door block, but it's still really cool. That's kind of neat. That is really cool. But yeah, I really like the overall design and aesthetic. It looks very industrial, but yet practical, like it's something that I could actually see somebody building at some point. So yeah, I think it's really neat. There is a cockpit somewhere on the lower platform area here, but in the description mentions that it's basically just for driving the base around kind of thing. The rest of it is handled up in the main cockpit area. So we're going to fly up here. This would be as you get onto the vessel. You could go up here, and I think this is going to take you to the main area here, roughly. So we've got lockers for workers, I'm assuming. Hard hat required, that's funny. We've got a nuclear reactor. It does have I think the description said it had an engine or engines and batteries and stuff, but it only needed like one of them, I believe. One or the other. I'm just going to leave it as it is. We've got another ladder here, which I'm guessing is going to take us up to the main part. Thankfully, we've got our toilet. You never know how long those long mining trips are going to go. Alright, so where did we end up? We should have ended up on the crane. Yeah, that's the back cable for, I think that's the counterweight, or what would be the counterweight if it actually needed that. I think it actually does need that to some extent, because when I first pasted it in, I don't know if it still is or not, but it was actually a bit uneven, like the nose was leaning forward, so I do kind of wonder if it needs that weight or not. We've got a docking, or a landing pad here for, I don't know, I guess resupply or something. Or if you wanted to, the description mentions if you wanted to sell ore to other, you know, NPCs, players, whatever. This kind of stuff is what is cool to me, though. It's like, how do you come up with this? And I know there's probably some of you out there that are like, that's not that hard. Well, it's hard for me to figure out how to do this crap, so, meh. This is a pretty cool little technique too. It's basically just using the little edge of the catwalk, but that lets you keep the wheels a bit tighter rather than a full block between them kind of thing. So I kind of like that. I guess this is a large hinge with a small hinge part that goes to essentially a small grid so that they can get a bit more control, like I said, over the shape and things of the tires. You got a lot of pistons here. Oh, that's smart. I don't know why I never thought of that, to put an interior pillar between the two, like 2 sets of pistons or something to keep them more stable. Duh. But whatever. I'm guessing also, where's this? It's got to be on a rotor somewhere, right? Oh, there it is. So we've got a rotor there. So that'll let this section turn down an angle and whatnot. And then you got the 3 different drill angles for that. Which I'm guessing there's a rotor somewhere for that. Or a hinge. Okay. Man, that's crazy. And there's even a section that when it lays down, you could stand on it. I don't know how you would get to it, but you can stand on it. That's crazy. The whole thing is, it looks really good too. I mean, it's not just a function over form kind of thing. It actually looks legit. Okay. I went up here before, and I ended up going out the other way. So, I'm guessing this leads to the main bridge cockpit area. Oh, we've got a little couch and a minibar, and that's pretty cool. We've got a display system here. That's really neat. Okay, so let's get to the meat and potatoes. Alright, there's a lot of instructions here. That's page 2. This is page 1, I'm assuming. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out if I even need to pay attention to the page 2. I guess that's... Okay, so page 2 is to stop the mining. I don't know if you guys can read that as well or not, but I'm not going to worry too much about the stopping it, because I'm probably just going to close this world out or something, or get rid of the miner, but I'm not going to let it go through a whole thing. So let's focus on this page, which is lower the drill head with toolbar 1, adjust drill head height with toolbar 2, set to 1.5 to 2 meters. Okay, let's go ahead and let's see how this works. So we're kind of here. So if we hit 1, that'll lower the head, but it's not even pointed the right way yet. Just the height. Oop. Let's see. Dang it. Let's see what happens if we do this. Okay, so let's go with... Oh, wait, what am I doing? That's reverse. Whoops. What's 3? Reverse drill head with toolbar. Once drills are touching the ground, reverse again. But how do I get it to rotate down towards the ground? Oh, I'm a dummy. I was thinking lower was just lower the thing. Lower is probably to actually rotate the thing. Yeah. Don't mind me. Will that clear that wheel is what I want to know. Ooh, it does. Man, some thought went into this. See, like that, how it kind of tips the... It's off the back wheels now. Now, like I said, I don't... You know, the thing isn't extended yet. I think that's funny. Okay, so now we've adjusted the head. I may have it actually a little too far, but I'm not going to worry about it. And then to reverse the drill heads is 3. Once the drills are touching the ground, reverse again. Okay, that's odd. So reverse. And then once they're touching, then reverse again. That seems weird. I wonder why you have to do that. Okay, activate the drill process with 4. Lower transfer piston to connect to a pipeline or a cargo truck. Use toolbar to stop transfer piston, and this to unlock. Okay. So 4. Hey, it actually worked. I haven't blown anything up yet. How cool is that? As you can see, the arm's actually swinging back. This is actually really cool. The arm is spinning over, or the base is. I can't quite tell which is moving. I kind of think they're both moving a little bit. I'm not really sure. But it's moving the base and I think the crane as the pistons are going out on the crane track thing. That's so cool. Like, who thought that one up? Okay, so what else we got here? I don't think we really need to mess with too much else, because the rest is... We'll check the lower the piston of the pipeline, use 7 to stop the transfer. Oh no, use okay. So you basically can turn off the piston, and then 8 to lock transfer the piston, to pause resume mining process. Piston cycle will complete before the system pauses. Resuming may take up to 1 minute. So you can hit 9, which turns off that. Waste ejectors can be managed on toolbar page 3. Man, there's a lot of thought that went into this. That's just nuts. Also, I don't know if I have the block destruction on, so I don't know if it'll actually damage anything. Okay, so I'm guessing page 2 is all the stopping stuff, but like I said, we're not going to worry about that too much. Page 3, like it says, there's sorter controls and things like that. I guess. I don't see sorters anywhere. Oh, these are ejectors, so you can turn them on and off. That's cool. Whoop. Yeah, I don't think I have voxel damage on, so maybe I do? Can't tell if it's actually doing it. I don't think it is. I think that's why we're bouncing. But you get the idea, and then you guys can check the description workshop file, and you can see the pictures of what kind of carvings it looks like it does, because I don't think this is actually doing much. Maybe it is? I'm not sure. But I love the system idea, though, of it. Like, it folds out, it lowers, then it extends, and then it's bringing it back in as it's drilling, and blah, 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 blah. So I thought it was really cool. Plus, it actually looks legit. It's not like just some random mining rig. It actually looks like something you could see being a mining rig type of thing. So, yeah, overall, I thought it was really cool, and I wanted to show it off. But with that, I think that's going to do it for this one. So let's move on to the last one. Alright, and last but not least, we have the HEXA gear Juggernaut. Now, a couple of things I need to point out about this one. One, it looks amazing. One is that it does mention it is designed off of a unreleased model for a series. I believe it was HEXA gear or something like that. I don't really know. It's not something I'm familiar with. I just wanted to point that out there, or throw that out there. The other is that it looks really, really cool, but I've wanted something like this for a while. In case you couldn't tell by the thumbnail or whatever, depending on which thumbnail I used, or if you check the workshop file, this is supposed to be a transforming tank. It's a transformer. And this is few and far between. You don't see these too often. The last ones I can think of were kind of the Robotech jet builds that would transform into a mech, and they were a while ago. Like, those videos on my channel are old when those came out. I haven't seen a good transforming build in a while, so I'm super excited about this. It also mentioned... Oh, that was the other thing. The other thing that I wanted to mention is it does say when you transform this to make sure the turret is facing forward. I believe double-check the workshop file for that, but it's, I'm assuming, important for when it transforms that it's not pointed in another direction. But that said, check out this crazy turret thing. Now, grant you, this is kind of one of those proof of concepts more than something I would actually use in a fight, because this is one of those rockets that I believe you have to load from the front, and it has no conveyor system or anything to it because of this block. So you have to manually load the turret and all that, which that's no fun. But But yeah, I do wonder if you placed like an advanced rotor and a conveyor block or something like that, could you use one of the regular rocket launchers? But that's kind of nitpicky semantic type things. But anyway, so let's go ahead and see if I can find, where do I fly this thing at, or drive it, or whatever. There's gotta be, okay, there it is. I see you. Can I get to you? Alright. We are in a tank. Transformation. See, this is how you keep me from breaking things. Look at this instruction and toolbar layout. Transformation. 1, 3, start walking. 4, stop walking. 6, control turret. I don't think even I can blow this thing up. He says before actually moving it or trying to do anything with it. So first off, you know what? I actually think in order to make sure I don't mess this up, we're gonna drive the tank around a minute, transform it, then transform it back, and then mess with the turret, just so that I don't get the turret misaligned or anything like that. Now, according to the description, the tank is controlled with WASD controls. Hey, look at that! It's got little like spike wheels on the front. That's so cool. So the it's supposed to be, am I turning? I am turning. Okay, it's just a slower battle tank. I wasn't really sure if I was just rolling down a hill or not. So the WASD is the forward back, the A and D is the WASD, the W and S is forward and back. The A and D is your turning, and then you could enable 6 to control the turret with the mouse. Now, so I wanted to see how it actually drove around, and it drives pretty good, actually. So let's actually use the main feature. Let's actually see how this works. So, 1. Oh! Dude! I expected like a slow process. This thing just straight up like transformed, and now I'm in beast mode. This is awesome. That's so cool. All right, I'm sold. So 3 is start walking, 4 is stop walking, and in the description it says the A and D keys are your turn left and right, and the 3 and 4 controls are your start and stop walking. So let's see how it walks, because walking is typically pretty wonky in some of these builds. Not to diminish any talk about like how difficult it is to actually build this. Like, oh, it walks wonky. Wow, that's a tongue twister. And it's like, well, it walks kind of weird. Well, it walks at all is kind of impressive to me. But yeah, so I definitely feel like this is a slow build either way as far as the walking and the driving. Neither of them are really that quick, so just bear that in mind. And then I guess if we turn, I wanted to try turning. So this is holding the D key and turning the beast mode, and then we're going to turn back. So I will say it seems pretty stable. It's not all that quick, but it actually works pretty well. We're not, the legs aren't bending and breaking. We're not falling over, stuff like that. It's actually holding pretty well. That's just crazy, though. I gotta see that again. So let's stop walking. I said stop walking. I guess it had to complete its walk cycle. But yeah, I mean, like, I kind of want to just add the Transformer sound effect to this. Just, it's like, that is legit. That works so well. I could watch that all day. Alright, so if we hit 6, so now we're controlling the turret. Now it does seem, oh, okay, if you lower the barrel too much, it'll get caught on the legs. That's so cool. Alright, what is this for? Trigger. I'm not sure, because if we have this, we can fire like that, so what does trigger do? Whoa! What was that? Hold up. Hold up. What just happened? Oh, I see it now. I'm trying to get the camera a little closer. It's got a custom... What in the world? It's got a Gatling gun on the back. A projector. Huh? Alright, we're gonna try that again. Okay, what is it? What is it building? I can't get the camera angle right. Dude! Oh, that's so cool. I wonder if I can hit this tree. So we've got... No wonder they're not worried about the rocket launcher in the front. Okay, so we have 3. That's cool to me because it's actually... It kind of seems like a legit tank. Like from a distance, it's like, fire! That's so cool. Alright. So... Then we'd line this up. I don't know how accurate it needs to be or if it would reset itself. And then... I can't help it. I have to do it every time. Like the sound effects have to happen. Okay, I'm not sure what's happening here. But I'm missing a leg. So I did end up breaking it. Go me. Yes, I tried to transform it again, since the first time went so well. I'm wondering... Oh, here's an idea. If I take control of the turret, can I use... No, we're flipping over. Yep. Okay. Okay. I don't know what happened this last time, though. I'm not sure if the turret wasn't aligned correctly, and it got in the way. Trying to use the transformation to flip me over. Nope. It's not gonna work. This is what we call stress testing a build. This is me trying to figure out if there's any way to like break it. And I'm usually pretty good at finding them. What I'm confused about is there's the legs, if you can see the 4 connectors there, it actually seems like they're disconnecting, moving places, and then reconnecting. So something is getting in the way of that back leg, and it's not separating. I just don't know what happened to do that. I don't know if it was the turret being in the wrong place or what. But anyways, yeah. I blame user error because overall this is a really cool, crazy build that I think is impressive that it was even doable. And can I just point out that we are upside down, the turret's in the wrong spot, yada yada yada, and yet, other than this one back leg, it's still managing to transform. Other than that one leg, I feel like that's pretty sound design in that regard. So with that, we're going to wrap things up here for this episode. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Peace.